At the start of the 80s, Merseyside was in decline. The docks and industries that had once thrived ground to a halt, sparking dole queues, strikes and riots. One ray of hope remained, however, and that was football.
You're on the zone. What else have you got to look for? And all you got is the football.
Football's got to do this, you know. Saturday afternoon might be the only outlet a lad gets who's on his own.
We were always conscious of that, and we were a shining light to their lives, week in, week out, not just, you know, for a flash in the pan month at the start of the season and once at Christmas. We were a shining light throughout for them to go and be proud of their team and proud of the red shirt and the passion for the city of Liverpool.
Neil. Johnson. First time to McDermott. Dalglish. And that's through. Neil, Johnson, McDermott, Dalglish, go. Neil. That's nicely back by Ray Kennedy to Dalglish. McDermott far post, Fairclough taking the same ground, now coming near and scores! And it's a hat-trick for David Fairclough. Alan Kennedy. Porter is injured. And Hansen has scored!
Oh dear, McDermott. What a try! Oh! McDermott has done it again! Another magnificent goal!
Back in again by Hansen. Cannon heading it straight up in the air. Dalglish challenging. Gilbert there. Dalglish trying to smuggle his way through. And then chipped it away from Burridge. What an astonishing goal by Kenny Dalglish!
5 players forward for Liverpool. Here's Ray Kennedy, number 5. Neil, Sammy Lee, 3 in the centre. Dalglish. Oh, and River came. McDermott. Johnson. Oh, what a start!
Johnson making space. Finding Dalglish. Hang on well there. And here comes Abby Cohen.
Oh, I say! At the same end, he's got one back.
As soon as wants it played in, there he is.
Touched off for David Johnson. Oh! That's the championship.
Taken by McDermott.
Kennedy's coming in here. Oh, it's in! And what happens now is all about the communication between these supporters and the team that they followed with such dedication down the years. And the team have responded with trophy after trophy. And indeed, perhaps the most compelling statistic is that for the last 8 seasons, this club have finished either first or second in the First Division.
What keeps them going?
Everything's done uncomplicated. The training's done uncomplicated. I don't know. It's like I said, the basics are done simply and correctly.
And you've got a flag there, which you obviously rescued from the cop somewhere.
Yeah, as a young lad gave me in the cop, and I'm really pleased. I've got a few scarves and everything.
I think it's got Kenny's name.
It's got Kenny's name on it. I don't like that.
Have you got any more ambitions left in this game?
Yeah, win it next year.
A new decade perhaps, but Liverpool remained at their invincible best. And when you're at the peak of your powers, the tricky questions just keep on coming.
Do you get the feeling that Liverpool are as formidable as ever? Watch us this afternoon. Everybody says we're on one headline, the empire crumbles. Well, the headline's tomorrow, hopefully, with the empire strikes back.
Kennedy with a shot. Oh! And a goal by McDermott. The ball was dropped by Parks. And Terry McDermott scores for Liverpool.
I mean, no one in their right mind would ever say they ever get bored of winning. I think the fans certainly got bored at times. I do, honestly. I think, you know, it was expected that we go and pummel teams, you know, and you've got to entertain them as well as win things. You've got to entertain them, and you know, if you don't do that, you're the first to know. I can assure you of that.
Entertainment was the watchword as the Reds embarked on their 1981 European Cup campaign. The cannon fodder finished Minnows Ulu Palasura on the wrong end of a 10-1 hiding. Graham Souness and Terry McDermott vied for the match ball with a hat-trick apiece as the Reds aimed to recapture a trophy that had been Nottingham Forest property for for the past 2 seasons. En route, Liverpool amassed 23 goals from some sparkling European performances.
Thompson. Dalglish's back heel, and that's got Neil in. And Neil will score. What a glorious goal that was. Souness, Dalglish. Hansen is up there. This is McDermott, and he's onside. And Hansen scores. Hansen. Souness. Real chance. And it's there. Long turn by Highway. 3 players to his right. He's picked out Souness, who picks out a beauty. Neil. Highway. 3 to come onto the angled one. Souness! Oh, I say! What a way to complete a hat-trick. He never saw it.
The semi-final had all the hallmarks of Mission Impossible. After a goalless draw at Anfield, it was over to Germany for the return leg. 78,000 Bayern Munich fans sensing a victory until Ray Kennedy popped up with a late goal to take Liverpool through. Waiting for them in the final, Real Madrid, but first Paisley's men had the chance to win their first ever League Cup. West Ham at Wembley finished 1-1. The trophy was finally claimed in the replay at Villa Park.
And West Ham have certainly got plenty back, taking Brian Clough's point there. Dermot playing it in. Dalglish! So Liverpool's corner. Jimmy Case with it. Curled in there once more towards Hansen! And the goal!
You really got your game together tonight.
Well, that was fabulous. You know. If we play like that, especially the first 45 minutes, if we keep playing like that, doesn't want to beat us.
And what a familiar sight that is for a Liverpool captain to raise the cup aloft. But it's the Football League Cup for the first time, now going back to Anfield.
You know, you hear all the Rovers stuff and magazine stuff. Well, I lived that. I lived that dream.
1 trophy down, 1 to go, and Paris in the springtime, the perfect setting for the romance of the European Cup. And that game against Real Madrid.
Playing against one of the greatest sides in Europe, Real Madrid, the all whites against the all reds, and it was special. It was a fantastic occasion. And the game passed by with very little incident until Alan Kennedy stepped up.
And it was just a fantastic feeling of you've scored a goal. You know, every player came up and they were all congratulating me and, you know, saying, you're lucky so-and-so, you know, did you mean it? And they were having a bit of fun, but, you know, all in all, seriously, you know, it was an important strike.
Then it was left to me to go and step up and pick up that wonderful trophy.
To win the European Cup 3 times in the space of, 4 or 5 years. Will that ever be done again? I don't think by an English club anyway.
Bill Shankly died earlier today, just 1 month after his 68th birthday, and football will never seem the same without him.
He was everything. Shanks had done everything for Liverpool to take us from being nothing to build a football club with very little money, but being very shrewd and bringing in top-class players into making us a force in England. And that team would be a force in Europe as well.
The club paid its own tribute with the Shankly Gates. Later, a statue would also be dedicated to the man who built the Liverpool machine and whose memory remains undimmed.
Well, everything I've got about football, owed to football. And the dedication and what I put into the game. Yes. You only get out the game what you put into it, Shelley. Mm-hmm. And I put everything into it I could, and still do, for the people and for the people that I was playing for and the people that I was manager for. I didn't cheat them out of anything. So I put all my heart and soul to the extent that my family suffered.
Do you regret that at all?
Oh, yeah, I regret it very much, yeah. Somebody said the football's a matter of life and death to you. I said, listen, it's more important than that. And that's true.
Bill's former sidekick Bob Paisley was rapidly cementing his own place in Anfield folklore, but despite 2 trophies, a 5th place finish in the league in 1981 left him with more rebuilding to do.
There were big changes late 81. Liverpool completely changed the team around. They brought in some young players like Ronnie Whelan. We had Ian Rush, Bruce Grobbelaar, Craig Johnson. It was a revolution.
And one thing about Bob, he knew his players. He was never afraid to break up a winning formula. He always knew there was 3 players coming in every year.
By Christmas 1981, the revolution had failed to materialise. Just 6 wins from their opening 17 games left Liverpool languishing in mid-table.
The way Bob Paisley done it was tremendous. He just kept on battling away and kept saying it will come right, and he gave us a confidence even though the results weren't going for us. It proved that against Man City when they beat us, I think it was Boxing Day, and they beat us at Anfield. And I think after that game, Bob Paisley had a good talk to us and say, listen, you can do it, but unless you pull together and help each other, you're not going to do it.
That seemed to transform Liverpool again into a young, vibrant team that were going to play good football, just like the old Liverpool were, and it worked a treat.
To Johnson.
Oh, and the head is the Whelan!
Some length on that kick. Rush getting it back to Dalglish, and there goes Rush again. Oh, good try. And a goal. Oh, yes.
Lee. Oh, what a goal! What a magnificent strike of a dead ball by Sammy Lee.
Buckley, the hoist. Oh, fine save from Grobbelaar.
Alan Kennedy, if it will settle for him. Johnston, very conclusively.
Whelan's made a good run into the inside right position. It's swung in towards Rush, and a very good ball too. Oh, that's superb finishing by Ian Rush, and that's goal number 29.
And Hoddle tries to get Archibald through behind the Liverpool defence. Archibald all the way. Dalglish couldn't get to it, but he might get to this. Villa going in there, using his shoulder. Johnson playing it in. Whelan! Ardila's mistake, and it's Rush. And now it's Dalglish. He's onside. Is this the decisive moment? He's played for Whelan, and he's done it again. That's astonishing. The first time he's ever played at Wembley, and he's got 2 of the goals. It falls for Sammy Lee. And what about that for a ball? Inviting Ian Rush to make a charge, to take it round Price, to play it for David Johnson. Stopped by Clements, but it's not away yet. Rush, 3-1.
There must have been a time when you thought you weren't going to get anything from this cup final.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to turn sour on the milk cup. But anyway, all's well that ends well.
Bruce Grobbelaar enjoying every moment of his celebrations of his first appearance at Wembley Stadium. Cigar and all.
In comes Lawrenson. Dalglish. Who's up there? Oh, Dalglish is through. Kenny Dalglish. Miller's header. It's going to come to Whelan. And Whelan makes it 3-1. The championship now. Liverpool champions, deservedly so, since the turn of the year. 120, drawn to and lost to. The rest of the First Division can only marvel at their consistency.
Look back on it now, it was the beginning of a new era for Liverpool because they hadn't won the league the season before, and then we went on to win, I think, 3 leagues on the trot.
The Manager of the Year award could only go to one man, but Bob stunned everyone that summer, announcing his plan to retire at the end of the following season.
So much speculation, not only gets back to the players. The game's not about managers, really. It's about players, and I just wanted to get it off the backs, tell them that, and then now they'll not be able to put it in the papers, and we'll just get on with the job, because that's what I intend to do.
So business as usual for Bob, and while he was determined to go out on top, even by his high standards, the Goodison derby was a cracker.
King. Hansen in so fast. And leads the charge. Rush to his left. Onside. Ian Rush. 1-0 Liverpool. Brilliant goal. Marvellously made by Alan Hansen. And put away by Ian Rush with the minimum fuss. Rush. Deflection. Has taken in. Ian Rush will claim the goal. His second of the match. Oh, he's got free Dalglish. And put in by Lawson. What a simple goal. A thread is what they need to just get their game together. And Liverpool won't let them have it. Dalglish. Look at that. Rushes through. This could be history here for Ian Rush if he scores. He's at the post. He might score now. He has. And it's the first hat-trick in a Merseyside derby since 1935. King has slipped. And this is where Liverpool have made the game look so easy. They've come out of defence, got into their stride, and seem to get an extra man through. It's Ian Rush. Can he score his fourth? It looks as though he has. Yes. 5-0.
To actually score four at Everton against the team you supported as a kid was incredible, and I hit the crossbar as well. And so at the end, I was speaking to my dad, and he told me I should have scored 5. So it was a bit of a come down.
I think his biggest asset is his pace and his ability once he's taking the ball at pace to get the shot on target.
Neil's clearance to Dalglish. Beautiful turn. Oh, and on for Ross. Got a perfect through ball. Brilliant goal. Ian Ross celebrates the goal, but Kenny Dalglish, the creator supreme.
When Rushy gets through, you may as well pack up and go home, because he's going to score. You know that Rushy's going to score because he's so cool.
May run for Souness. Hodgson. Rush is hovering inside the area, and he's there. And Ian Rush, and that's Liverpool. They don't mind if they score in the first, middle, or the last.
What's he like off the pitch?
The five-a-side, you mean? Or away from the pitch? I don't know, he doesn't talk. Nobody knows.
I must say I like your cat. Are you fond of animals?
Yes, my favourite is a seal, and I also like whales.
Well, where do you keep them?
Well, now I spend most of my time round the pool. There are lots of big fish there.
Rush's pantomime career may have quite rightly been short-lived, but there was yet another Reds encore at Wembley as Liverpool chased their third League Cup in a row. Standing in their way, Manchester United, and an emotional afternoon. It was to be Bob's last major final as manager.
Lee. Again, the outlet is the fullback, Kennedy. It's in! Shot struck Macari. Kennedy. Whelan. And again, Whelan's scored it! Brilliant goal! Ronnie Whelan has scored the second for Liverpool today. So Liverpool's acquisition of prizes goes on. And what a good idea to let Bob Paisley, in his last season as manager, on his last visit to Wembley in that capacity, what a nice touch that he should lead the team up. I'm sure the players, among others, insisted upon that. This man has won 19 major prizes, and he finishes up, quite rightly and properly, as a winner. All Bob will say, I'm sure, is thanks to his players, and the championship is still to come.
The climax of 9 remarkable seasons in charge of Liverpool Football Club. And he stands back to allow his captain, Graham Souness, to accept the League Championship trophy, but the captain immediately passes it to the boss.
I've enjoyed every minute. People have made far more money than me in football and that, but nobody's ever enjoyed it more than me.
The legendary boot room continued relentlessly, from Shankly to Paisley, and now Joe Fagan. And the rest of the country resigned themselves to more years in the wilderness.
I know for a fact when Joe took it, he was never very keen. He took it to keep other people in work, really.
For me, he was the most down-to-earth person ever. He didn't lose his rag too much, but when he did, everyone stopped and listened, and that's what was. That's how people respected the man as well. The man was a genius.
Straight on by Dalglish to Rush, and it's in at last.
In that season, we just went out not thinking we're going to win. We went out knowing we're going to win, and it's an amazing feeling when you go to that.
They seem to find angles other teams don't appreciate. Lee, Dalglish, Lee again, Robinson, back heel to Dalglish, surely, yes it was. It's on here, and Dalglish has scored a quite magnificent goal, and Liverpool prove again that there's no team better in Britain and maybe in Europe at passing the ball. It's Johnston. Oh, he's done well here is Craig Johnston. What a good finish.
Mistake by Madden. Robinson rushes up with him. Robinson! What a superb goal by Michael Robinson.
It's been played short for Dalglish. He's got it! That's the goal that Kenny Dalglish wanted. Here's Steve Nicol. Oh, and he's hovering again. There is Rush. Well, I say, the man just can't be stopped.
1984, the first all-Merseyside Wembley final. Reds and Blues travelled down side by side for the big day out, with Liverpool aiming for an unprecedented fourth League Cup in 4 years.
Liverpool's corner. Dalglish with it. Oh, Kennedy, and they haven't picked him up again. And my word, how did that stay out? And the whistle has gone, and it's 0-0. And the teams will have to meet again at Main Road, Manchester, on Wednesday evening.
Rossi, you normally put them in. I missed it altogether. You missed it. Missed it.
Here's Dalglish. Neil. In for Souness. And a goal! Souness for Liverpool. That old familiar scene, Liverpool raise the trophy yet again. And the man who's got it is the man who scored the goal that mattered, that won the cup for Liverpool. And we've seen modern football history achieved here today, surely. Liverpool have taken the point they required from this match, and the fans can now start to celebrate. So the Liverpool legend goes on.
At the end of the day, I must say that congratulations to all the players, to all the supporters, and to everybody at Liverpool Football Club.
Fantastic achievement for the club, the first to do it in three successive years since Arsenal in the 30s. It's something you've always wanted.
Not bad at all, is it? I don't think we ever think about these things. I think we leave it to other people to sort the
statistics out.
Couldn't say that word, John. I still can't say it.
And the European Cup still to come.
No comment.
The Reds would have to complete a unique treble the hard way, going right into the Lions' Den to win the European Cup. Up against them, Roma, in Rome, roared on by a hostile crowd. Bring on the Gladiators from Merseyside.
Very intimidating. Roma's home ground. 3/4 of the stadium was Roma fans. Nobody expected us to win, but that team at the time with Kenny and Suey and Rushy, we felt we could win anyway.
A lot of that's got to go down to the coaching staff as well, because they made us believe that going to Roma wasn't a problem. Then we're going down the tunnel singing songs and like we didn't have a care in the world, and they couldn't believe what we were doing, such a big game, and we were so relaxed.
You're playing against what's termed as the best team in Europe. Roma, without doubt, we had some fantastic players.
We were the underdogs, but we were always going to put on a show.
Grobbelaar was quite magnificent on the night, and you know, it was his contribution in the penalty shootout enabled us to have that winning advantage. It was pretty nerve-wracking walking there, putting the ball down and looking at Tancredi and him giving me the glare, and how Joe Fagan would pick me, you know, is beyond belief.
You're saying, come on, Alan, hope you can score, because you missed about 10 times in training just before that.
But the only one I didn't look at, Alan Kennedy, I just couldn't do it.
I did a commentary for Phil Neal. He's put the ball down, he's coming up to take it.
Liverpool are European champions!
When I went in the back of the net, I could just feel myself go, this is it, this is the best moment of my life.
Joe won 3 trophies in 1 year, and people have been knighted for things like that. And that's the amazing thing about it.
Joe's all-conquering heroes received a rapturous welcome on their return, but Graham Souness pooped the treble party. He was off to Italy to play for Sampdoria. Liverpool briefly lost their way.
It was just a big blow because we had such a great team. We thought we were going to be together for maybe, next 3 or 4 years, and to have maybe the so-called leader, just go to Italy, and that's why it didn't go as that we'd like to.
I think when you lose a player of that stature, it's going to affect things, and I'd attribute most of it to that. Occasionally it happened. Liverpool were a hell of a team, hell of a club, but now and again they experience bad patches like any good side.
A poor start to the league campaign ultimately left them with too much work to do, so all attention shifted to the European Cup. The semi-finals saw a rejuvenated Liverpool in full flow, with Panathinaikos of Greece powerless to halt them.
Donald standing still when he got the ball. Oh, pushed under the post, walk! The breakthrough. Neil. Rush, Rodriguez. Dalglish. Donald, begged and available. Whelan pulls wide to the left. This was a bit square, didn't give him anything to run onto, but here's Rush, and that's a goal! The Rush! Two goals in a minute. Dalglish coming at the back. Oh, that is a magnificent goal for Jim Beglin.
May the 29th, 1985, Liverpool fans flocked to Brussels in high spirits for the final against Juventus, but the game soon became meaningless in the face of tragedy. In Heysel Stadium, 39 supporters lost their lives when a wall collapsed amidst horrific and terrifying scenes.
That was horrible, really. It was just an awful day in everybody's life. I just feel there should have been an inquest as to how that stadium could have been chosen. Dilapidated stadium. People tell me they got in, without showing their tickets. That's how dilapidated the stadium was. I'm not condoning anything that went on, but it should never have happened.
Afterwards, when the full extent became known, and we all felt, I certainly did that, the game should never have happened. And I think Joe was just so astonished at what had happened and so devastated by it that he just felt that was the time to go. And I always remember after the game, Joe came round the dressing room, and where previously we'd called him Gaffer or Boss, he handed us all our medals. There was no ceremony, and said, "You can call me Joe from now on." And that was his way of telling us he was going to resign.
These were traumatic times for everyone at the club. Without a manager and banned from Europe, the Reds turned to a legend to lift the gloom. Kenny Dalglish became player boss.
It was a surprise because it all happened so fast. So I was certainly a little shocked at the time, but of course once you dwelt on it and thought about it a little bit, then you thought, well, why not? Because he had such respect in the game. The fans adored him, all the players admired him hugely.
And he'd take advice, but when he felt it was really right to do something that he felt was completely different, he was headstrong enough to do it, and we would back him.
I think he had a lot of help from the coaching staff as well. Then had been Roy Evans, Ronnie Moran as well, so he knew how to handle players, I think, both on and off the pitch, and from that point of view, I think all the players loved him because of that.
I think his first season and the success it brought was proof that it was more than the right choice.
And still, Rush in the middle, Whelan on the near side as we look. Nickel. Oh, I say, what a classic goal!
That was Hansen heading down, Thomas miscued, and Rush played it back, and Whelan fired it, and it came to Mulvey, and that's the equaliser that Liverpool have been threatening to score.
Donald, and in a good position is McNall. This could be number 3, and it's Liverpool's corner then.
Craig Johnston taking it. Gillespie getting up underneath this one, and his header finds the back of the net, and that's 2-0. Nickel, Walsh, Lawrenson, beneath Niswecki, and it's number 2 for Liverpool.
The mid-80s also saw the renaissance of Everton, and in 1986 they were the champions, aiming to dent Liverpool's title hopes. The Blues signalled their intentions with this 2-0 win at Anfield.
For Gary Lineker.
It looked as if we weren't even going to do the league at one stage. Never mind the double, because we were stuttering a bit again, and I think some of the senior players were concerned enough. I think I remember Alan Hansen has subsequently said that he'd gone to Dalglish and said, you know, this team isn't doing it, it's not going to win anything. And Dalglish, who hadn't picked himself much as player-manager, decided to put himself back in the team. And we went on an unbelievable run with him back in the team. His presence and the urgency, the purpose it brought from everybody. I think out of our last 12 games, won 11, drew 1. It's a fantastic time.
Headed by McCarthy. Here's Mulvey. Rushes in there. Oh, and it fell to McMahon. McMahon has scored. Hansen, Dalglish. Here's Mulvey. And now Johnston. And he fires it across. McMahon! He's got his second. Whelan. And Dalglish is in here. Yes! The player-manager scores the goal that may edge Liverpool nearer to their 16th championship.
A league title in his first season in charge meant anything was achievable for King Kenny's men, and thoughts quickly turned to the possibility of becoming only the second team in the 20th century to carry off both the league and FA Cup double. Again, it was their Merseyside neighbours Everton who stood in Liverpool's way.
That's marvellous. We've been totally supportive all season. They've turned down their thousands tonight to welcome the lads home and obviously to celebrate us winning the league championship.
They're all looking forward to the cup final on Saturday, and everybody's thinking now obviously about the double.
Well, we're the only team that's got a chance of doing it, haven't we?
Here's Jan Mulvey. For once the touch of Dalglish deserted him. And Reid now sending Lineker into the path of Gary Lineker. And Grobbelaar saves. But not this time. And Everton are in the lead with Lineker. Now Wheeler. They've quickened the pace up now, Liverpool. Now Mulvey. Now Rush. Yes! 1-1. Beglin. Rush into Mulvey. And it's there! It's Craig Johnston! Well, delightful again. Mulvey. Oh, look at the space here now for Wheeler. Dalglish is making a run for him. One player's gone tumbling. And it's played across for Rush. That's another one, and that will make it safe for Liverpool, and that will mean, without any doubt at all now, that the league and cup double will be theirs. And a cup and a gesture that says Liverpool have done the double.
I felt Liverpool and Everton had the best two sides in Europe then, and you know, we'd just snatched the league from Everton, and we're playing them in the first ever Merseyside cup final. It's just one of them days you never forget, and you know, it's like a dream come true.
Both sets of fans have been absolute credit again to the city and to the respective clubs.
You're still two good friends, are you?
Well,
No, I want him to retire now. He's had enough now. He's got to retire now, and then just give us a better chance next year.
Somebody thought I had retired in the first 45 minutes.
Prophecy from Howard Kendall, the 1986-87 season saw his Everton side claim the First Division by 9 points. At Anfield, there was certainly anxiety, especially after goalscorer supreme Ian Rush departed for Juventus.
Maybe there was a feeling that, from his viewpoint, that we'd gotten away with it a little bit. Yeah, we were still capable of playing some great football, and we certainly had pulled the double out of the bag when it didn't look likely at one stage, but that it needed strengthening, it needed more quality.
I was the first part of the jigsaw, and then came John Barnes and Peter Beasley afterwards, and then Ray Houghton shortly after that, and it just all gelled. It was a fantastic team to play and be part of.
Yeah, this is Venison. And here's Barnes. And Aldridge this time, 2-0.
That team of the late 80s, the end of the 80s, produced some unbelievable football.
McMahon. McMahon! Oh, Hussein! What a belter! Forward by Gillespie. Klein, guilty of holding back Beardsley, but he's through anyway. And Beardsley scores his first league goal for Liverpool and makes it 4-0.
For me, that is the best football I've seen in the First Division for 18 months. It was lovely to watch. Why don't they go somewhere else and do it instead of here at Highfield Road?
Barnes. Oh, lovely back heel. McMahon, Aldridge, good challenge. Beardsley! Oh, that's a lovely goal. That's a lovely goal.
There was more flair about the team. The Ray Houghton on the right, John Barnes on the left. Plenty of flair all through the team.
Oh, Byrne wanting a long time to clear that. He dwelt on it too long. Barnes. And Barnes again. 3.
We thought we'd have been in the league from November. We thought we would. Obviously, we worked every day, so it doesn't really matter what you think. You have to go out there and do it.
Barnes won it. He won it from Brock. He's got Beardsley going to his left, but still Barnes. That's a fabulous individual goal.
John Barnes was unbelievable. The best striking player you could wish to play alongside. He was formidable, and the quality of crosses came into the box for me was exceptional.
Now that was Barnes looking for Nickel. Barnes took on Caesar. Still Barnes, brilliant. Houghton couldn't convert. McMahon 3 in the way. Tony Adams got a foot to it. Well, McMahon won that back wonderfully well. Beardsley. Oh, a goal for Aldridge. Right on half-time, it's John Aldridge. Aldridge. Beardsley. Oh, brilliantly done by Peter Beardsley.
But in a season of unrivalled excellence, one performance still shines out from the rest. Liverpool scaled new heights, achieving footballing perfection against Nottingham Forest.
I felt a little bit sorry for the Forest lads, I must admit, because they just couldn't handle us. It was absolutely an amazing performance. And to think the first 15 minutes we never really got going. Just as well did we never, because it could have been 8 or 9.
Houghton, Barnes, Houghton goes again, he's through. Ray Houghton. Beardsley, he seems to be able to find space and find Aldridge. And that is another superb Liverpool goal. Even the bench surely can enjoy the quality of the play here. Barnes working it to Houghton, Aldridge, Gillespie! Decisive finish. Football is so crisp and clean between these two teams because passing is the name of the game for both of them. Ray Houghton finding Nigel Spackman. Barnes against Chettle. Oh, look at Barnes here. They're waiting for the pullback. Beardsley! Oh! A glorious goal again for Liverpool. Chettle. Well played Spackman. And Beardsley. And Spackman. And Aldridge. It's 5. A thunderous cheer for another championship performance from Liverpool.
Are Liverpool the best of all time?
Well, certainly on tonight. Well, I think they are, yes. I think it's fair to say that's the finest exhibition I've seen the whole time I've played and watched the game. It was absolutely tremendous.
The championship returned to Anfield little over a week later, and a second double seemed on the cards. The contrast between the two FA Cup finalists couldn't have been greater, as Dalglish's free-flowing side met the Route 1 of Wimbledon.
Again, Young is right in there, Sanchez in there too. I don't have to tell you the fashion is in there. Here's Wise with the free kick. And it's in there!
a coach should make a substitution, Brian, because it's not happening for them at all, especially up front. And I think Kenny will need to think about shaking the pack up a bit.
I think Craig Johnson's short will come on, but it's with Aldridge at the moment. That's a penalty. The foul by Goodyear on Aldridge.
To be honest, it wasn't a penalty. I've gone over the ball and the man made a great tackle. It was never a penalty. Perhaps that in the back of your mind, but it shouldn't have made no difference. I should have put it away.
Saved brilliantly by Bessant.
It was just not meant to be for whatever reason. And if ever a team deserved to win a double, that team did.
April the 15th, 1989, Hillsborough. What was meant to be an FA Cup semi-final against Nottingham Forest became a tragedy that engulfed Liverpool the club and Liverpool the city. 96 fans died that day. They will never be forgotten.
Hardest part of my life to come to terms with. It was very close to us all, the fans were. And I used to stand amongst these people who died, watching Liverpool home and away.
People of Merseyside were tremendous all through that bad period. And it was difficult for a lot of the lads to get going, more so the Scousers like Macca and Aldo. But it wasn't easy for anybody. It was a rough time all round.
When the funerals began, the men who were the heroes on the pitch became the men who comforted at the churches.
And everyone, the tea ladies, the players' wives, the players themselves, the directors and the staff at the club have been absolutely magnificent and totally supportive. Because at the end of the day, it is a family club here, and we've said that.
It was the saddest moment this football club has ever had. The tragedy that happened at Hillsborough, you said you don't want it to ever happen anywhere else.
The decision was then given to the fans and the family as to whether we thought we should continue, and the decision they came back with was yes, we have to play.
This is Nicol looking for McMahon. Good through ball. He got away from Ratcliffe. Oh, and John Aldridge in a great position. And Liverpool have scored in their first attack. Watson heads it forward to Cotty. Sharp. Chances here. Nevin. And outside him a chance too. And Godola. And it's gone in. Steve McCall was in there. And Everton have equalised. Nicol. Oh, there's Rush in there. Rush! Goal! Ian Rush! Liverpool back in front. Ratcliffe. Watson's up. Here's McCall again. Oh, yes! It's 2-2. Stuart McCall. Whelan. McMahon. Barnes. Rush! Goal! 3-2 Liverpool. Ian Rush gets his second. Liverpool are FA Cup winners for the fourth time, and they hope that the championship is still to come to give them their second double.
The shadow of Hillsborough ensured an emotional and memorable night at Anfield as the two title rivals went head-to-head. Arsenal needed a 2-0 win to steal the title, and the Gunners did it in heartbreaking fashion.
A good ball by Dixon, finding Smith. For Thomas, charging through the midfield. Thomas, it's up for grabs now! Thomas! Right at the end! An unbelievable climax to the league season. Well into injury time, the Liverpool players are down absolutely abject.
They got a little bit of luck. They played very well on the night. They've done the homework well again. And I think it's got to come down to that word, what you said, faith. It just wasn't to be. It was one step too far.
At that time, we were physically and mentally drained, and I think there was just nothing left in the tank for us to give.
Liverpool's tower of strength in the dark days after Hillsborough was the manager, Kenny Dalglish.
We were here to help at the time, and we're still here to help. And if we can do anything to help, we'll try our best to do that. But as I say, it's something that you wouldn't want to go away, and it's something that never will.
It was incredible the amount he took on, and maybe it was a bit too much because he's only normal at the end of the day, and But he was just doing everything and taking all the problems and putting them onto himself.
The immediate problem facing Liverpool was an empty space in the Anfield cabinet. The First Division trophy had taken up near permanent residence over the past 2 decades. They claimed it back, though, in some style.
Pemberton showing in the inside route, and it was blocked by Hopkins, rather fortunately for Crystal Palace. Nicol places it into the corner. McMahon, though, is away here. Rush inside him. McMahon chipped Suckling brilliantly. Barnes. Oh, and here's Beardsley. Surely a third here. Rush helps himself to it. It's Beardsley's corner. And from Barnes' flick, the scorer is Gary Gillespie. Rush linking up with Beardsley. Peter Beardsley deserves to be amongst the scorers. So, Aldridge, what an entrance it will be if he puts this away. He has done, and it's the biggest cheer of the night. Barnes sizes up the possibilities, and it goes over the wall, and it's a perfect free kick on a perfect night for Liverpool. Liverpool, though, are in possession of another corner. Here's Hussein, and it's 8 now. And maybe a 9th, yes! Nicol, who started it all. Liverpool 9.
And afterwards, it was truly emotional. You know, I knew that I'd had my time. I probably started a bit of a mania because all the players seem to do that now. I think I was the first one to probably do it. The boots and all, and me socks did a whole lot winning, I think. But it was just a show from me to the fans, what they meant to me, for sticking with me. And they knew I always had a great repertoire with the Liverpool fans, being a Scouser, being ex-Copite. And it was just a thank you from me.
The return of the prodigal goal poacher Ian Rush saw the departure of John Aldridge. There was no squad rotation, and 3 into 2 simply didn't go. Dalglish's tough choice, however, proved to be the right one.
Glanced out by Marsh. Rush now. If McMahon can run half the length of the pitch here, Liverpool are in again. He settles for help. He's got it from Rush, and Dibble this time cannot keep him at bay.
Rush again. McMahon driving it!
Venison. Returned to him well by Nicol. Oh, Watson can't get there. Barnes does. Liverpool have scored. Gillespie's long throw. Rosenthal trying to work himself there. Oh, terrific!
On the penultimate Saturday of the season, Liverpool needed one more victory to secure the first championship of the 90s. QPR the visitors, and another decade of dominance beckoned.
Well, Kenny Dalglish is looking for a third championship in his 5 years as manager. The other 2 seasons they finished second, but he regards that as failure. Moulding. The spare man here is Steve Nicol. Wilkins goes across to try and perhaps get a tackle in, but Nicol to Barnes, back to Nicol, and now Rush. Oh, and Seaman was beaten by the power of it. Ian Rush. McMahon, Rush, and Nicol, 1-on-1 against Maddox. It's a penalty, just inside the area. The linesman gave the decision. But here goes the newly crowned footballer of the year, John Barnes. 2-1. Well, Liverpool have done their part. They have won. Liverpool would again be the champions. Such agony here 11 months ago when Arsenal took the title from them with virtually the last kick of that season. Lesser clubs than Liverpool would have taken years to recover from that, but here failure only stimulates more urgent searches for success. Kenny Dalglish's third championship in only 5 years as manager.
Now, you've won so many things as a player and a manager. I wonder if it still gives you as much satisfaction to win something like this again.
Well, the most important thing is the last one, isn't it? And the most recent one. And I think you can tell by the reaction of everybody here that they enjoy winning.
As King Kenny polished off more silverware, the Reds were sparkling once again. Opening up the following season with 12 wins from 13 games, it seemed the good times were set to roll.
Delightful ball again by Barnes. McMahon in for Beardsley!
Barnes, twice first to him again. With as much strength as he can muster. Oh my word! What can you do about that? Absolutely nothing. Staunton's pass, and look at the length of that to Rush. Houghton hits it, and it's turned out to be a cracking shot from Ray Houghton, and Liverpool go the direct route to regain the lead.
But by February 1991, cracks had begun to appear. Goodison Park, the venue for another pivotal point in the club's history, and an FA Cup fifth round replay full of drama. The aftermath was even more unexpected.
Hinchcliffe. Watson tried to force away through. Newell couldn't get round the outside. Played forward by Staunton. Oh, and that's Ratcliffe. Ian Rush takes on Neville Southall. And off the line by Hinchcliffe. Beardsley. It's McDonald who crosses. Newell poised at the far post. And Nicol is limping. Sharp! It went through Grobbelaar. Found Nicol, despite the attention to McCall. It's more like Liverpool of the first half. Beardsley, Barnes is free. Oh! Save! Oh! There's going to be an equaliser for shot! Chaos in the Liverpool penalty area. Bowled in. Where are Everton to close him down? McDonald. McCall helps it in. Got it! 3-3! Barnes. It looks for goal! And finds it! Hinchcliffe did very well. Oh, and Hussain is going to cut it! They're back from the dead again!
I regret to announce that Kenny Dalglish told the board yesterday of his wish to retire as team manager.
I've been in the front line for 20 years, and it's just really a result of 20 years active involvement in football at a very high and successful level that really kind of reached the person has pushed himself to the limit.
Came in with the chairman. He only spoke for about 2 minutes. I think he was virtually crying when he went out because he didn't want the lads to see him. Most probably the state he was in because he's very upset.
The only thing I can remember is coming in on the morning for training and being told Kenny's resigned this morning, and it's everybody looking at each other and is somebody winding us up here? But it was true, and it was a shock to us all.
If things were affected his family life, which he said, and he didn't feel he was doing the job to his full ability, then Kenny's like the rest of it. He'd say, well, I'm not doing the best thing for Liverpool Football Club, or myself or my family, and he made that decision, and it was done.
It's a case of, okay, who's the next one that we've got that's going to be the manager?
One Scotsman out and another one in. Former captain Graham Souness had cut his managerial teeth with Glasgow Rangers in typically abrasive fashion. And while some faces stayed the same, Suey plotted another Anfield revolution. His first game back against Norwich revitalised a dwindling title challenge. But defeat at Forest handed the First Division crown to Arsenal.
Chettle has come forward for the free kick. Off the head of Nichols, a Wone. Good effort. Oh, what a splendid goal, Ian Wone! And the Scouser has scored a significant goal against the team he used to support. The title is looking increasingly likely to go to Highbury. Liverpool have made a very good appointment in Graham Souness as manager, and anyone who thinks that this is the beginning of the end for Liverpool should think again.
I obviously have my critics. I want sooner, much sooner rather than later, to be able to turn around and say, well, I think you were wrong.
It was a difficult time for Graham because it was, things were, again, like Kenny's gone, he was a messiah, wasn't he, in many ways, in football-wise, playing-wise, manager-wise. And no one could have tried harder to be successful with Liverpool than Graham Souness. He was desperate to be successful.
Graham came in there and knew that the old regime were coming to the end of their playing days, and they needed to bring in fresh blood, new international players that probably had 3, 4, 5 years of good playing left in them. The only problem that Graham did was probably change everything too quickly. But he was a brave man to come and do it.
As well as England centre-back Mark Wright, striker Dean Saunders joined from Derby to take Peter Beardsley's number 7 shirt. Winger Mark Walters came from Rangers, and Michael Thomas, once Anfield villain, turned hero. Sui's first full season also saw the welcome return of European football, 6 years after Heysel. Finnish part-timers Kyushi Lahti had the honour of being the first opponents and the victims of 6 of the best from Liverpool.
Still Walters, Houghton's in there, and Liverpool score again. The score is now 6-1.
Rarely can there have been a more important strike for Liverpool. Gives an indication of the wind and the further test to the nerves. Moby against Martini, and Liverpool lead. Cracking penalty. Houghton, Moby is square, and the return ball comes in for Houghton, and Marsh scores. It's comfortably seen. Roche, Moby, Walters scores.
We had a good side. Things were going, ever so well, and we played some attractive football.
Michael Thomas, great chance again, and this time Thomas scores. It was made by Barnes, and Thomas puts it away so cleanly.
Well, John Beresford has to score, otherwise Liverpool are in the final. Oh, that's it. Liverpool are in the FA Cup final, courtesy of a penalty shootout.
Cup final plans, though, were soon in chaos. Graham Souness needed life-saving surgery after being diagnosed with heart disease. But Suey, the manager, refused to be beaten.
Will you be at Wembley on Saturday, Mr. Toon?
Well, I have to be guided by the doctors on that. I'm hoping to be, but I have to be guided by the doctors.
How do you feel now?
I feel really, really good.
But he was desperate to be in that cup final, but when we seen him there, it gave us a big boost and say, we want to do it for him.
Well, that shows the mark of the man. He's a very strong man, a very strong character. For him to go through what he went through and then still come to the cup final and be there was brilliant for all of us, because he brought us to the club and we wanted to win it for him.
But if Liverpool don't win the cup, they'll go down into folklore. Oh, they might win it now! Michael Thomas!
Saunders. It's Thomas again, and now Rush. He rewrites the record books, and Liverpool start to experience a familiar feeling.
For me to have been made captain, that season, and for me to walk up them steps and lift it, myself, be presented it with it first, was like everyone can see, everyone would say it, it's like a dream come true, but it really, really was. And obviously the choice of words at times were, when now you have time to reflect on it, were probably wrong, but at the time it felt right, it meant that much to me, and what comes out, and you know what you say is history, but I was very, very pleased to receive it, yeah.
The Souness reign also saw the first glimpses of a new Anfield generation. Fullback Rob Jones and midfielder Jamie Redknapp were joined by two fresh-faced Scousers, Steve McManaman and Toxteth's very own Robbie Fowler.
Hutchison inside to Redknapp. Oh, it's the youngsters combining, and here he is, McManaman, the scorer of the goal. He'll be claiming it. Can he get a bona fide second? He can! Oh, what a goal it was! That is the face of Liverpool of the future.
He changed a lot of things around at Anfield. As far as I was concerned, you know, a lot of them, you know, were for the better and needed to be changed. And he brought a lot of good young players through. And I think it was just unfortunate, you know, that he didn't really have time to you know, bleed the young lads into the squad.
When I came to this club, there were some good players here, but there were players who were getting maybe just beyond their peak. They were a team that were going backwards. I feel that we're far better now than we were 2 years ago. We've got a team that's younger, that's only going to get better. And as I said, the team inherited was only going to get worse.
The new faces didn't stop there as Souness splashed the cash. 7-figure sums for Paul Stewart from Spurs, keeper David James, the gifted Nigel Clough, and two of football's most notorious hard men, Neil Razor Ruddock and Julian Dix. There may have been more missed than hit, but Anfield was still the stage for some great football occasions. But the good times were far outweighed by the bad. Too many defeats, too much strife on and off the pitch took its toll. And ultimately, the final straw, a humiliating FA Cup defeat at home to lowly Bristol City. Souness's time was up.
I think he has to accept that they're not all winners like Graham Souness, and I think Graham found that hard to understand. He thought everyone was like himself.
And I can remember the days after games where we got beaten, how lonely he was. But it was he got the short end of the straw at the end of the day. It was a difficult time for Liverpool, and no one could decide harder than him to pull it round.
Suey's departure sparked furious speculation as to the next manager. The Reds went back to the boot room.
I am delighted to announce the appointment of Roy Evans as team manager until the end of 1995-96 season.
Roy Evans had grown with Liverpool, starting as an apprentice. Now he was the boss.
I think you've got to be your own man. I think it would be pointless for me to try and emulate any of these top men. I mean, they're great people in the game. I feel I've learnt a lot off every one of them. But at the same time, I think my personality is the way I shall manage.
People say that he's a bit quiet, but he's got a very, very strong personality, and he's his own man. He's a hard man when he wants to be.
I started as a fan, and then you become a youth team player, an apprentice, and then you know, reserve team. Managed to make the first team, and then did well in the coaching side, and then went from trainer to physio to coach to assistant manager, which I suppose is quite an achievement.
As the Evans era started, so standing ended on the Kop. The Taylor report, drawn up after Hillsborough, demanded all-seater stadia, and in April 1994, the country's most famous terrace swayed for a final emotional time.
You seem to sense the atmosphere of the Cup when you go in it. It is electrified. You feel as though you're an integral part of the team.
My dad's buried in the Cup end, right on the left-hand post of the goal.
The Spain Cup at Liverpool is an institution. And if you're a member of the Cup, you feel as if you're a member of a big society, where you've got thousands of friends all around about you.
To me, there's no place like the Cup. Never will be, never will be.
A new Kop for a new Liverpool, but the spirit of the original design was reflected in the new construction. On the field, the team was recreating the past two, reaching a Wembley final in Roy's very first season, taking on Bolton in the League Cup final.
To lift the cup at Wembley there was one of the highlights of my career, as well as, you know, be captain, lift a trophy for Liverpool Football Club.
I think we were just very close to being a very good team. Everyone got on very well. Team spirit was very good, and as I said, we played some fantastic football, culminating in some very high finishes in the league.
Collymore. McManaman! Oh, again! He's the ace of the Liverpool pack today.
Racketeer. McManaman. Great turn, past Staunton. Liverpool really onside! What a goal from Robbie Fowler!
That's all about individual brilliance and confidence in a young man. Turn away for Watts. Stan Collymore. Oh, yes! Got hold of that all right. Screamer.
We come to conquer. You know we never walk alone. We dominate, the cream of the crop, drawing all the strength from the roar of the cop.
Liverpool were fast becoming footballing pop idols. Wannabes on the pitch. Off it, their good looks and high jinks earned them an unwanted tag. Meet the Anfield Spice Boys.
There's a few nutters in the camp, but we're all young lads, you know, and we like to enjoy ourselves, and it's a way of releasing tension, being a bit nutty now and then.
Match days, special breakfast, flumps with Heinz hot barbecue sauce. Oh, goes down the street.
They're a fantastic bunch. I mean, they got a lot of criticism actually, and it's always annoyed me and annoyed them. The Spice Boys, whatever they got called.
I think it was just, you know, one of them nice labels to label people.
They were all good-looking lads, weren't they, at Liverpool, except for our centre-half. We was all cut and bumped and bruised, and they were flying around with this party and that party and advertising, and I think that in itself just got a little bit out of hand, and I think that's why they got given the name.
People tell a story about David James doing an advert for Armani, and he said, well, I'm going over anyway, what's the fine? You know, that's the biggest load of rubbish of all time. David James, on a Monday morning when there was no training, asked could he go, and he went. And as long as it didn't interfere with the football, you know, that was part and parcel of the image football was getting at the time.
The 1996 FA Cup final, and an opportunity for Liverpool to show what they could really do on the biggest stage. But the Reds underperformed.
Extra time looming large, but Manchester United have a corner. Gary Pallister calling for it. James can only fist it. It comes for Cantona! I don't believe it!
It was disappointing for us because I thought we had a young team which could have developed, and you felt that we should have gone on somewhere from there to be successful.
1996 did see the capture of one trophy, though, the FA Youth Cup. And from that young side emerged the club's most exciting talent for decades. A goal scorer supreme at just 16. Step forward, Michael Owen.
Roy Evans was great for me. I mean, I came into the squad when I was 17, and the team at that time were quite a young team, and a lot of English, a lot of local lads were here, so it wasn't too hard to feel, one of them, and they all made it very, very easy for us.
In the 1996-97 season, Liverpool were on the verge of glory, but were guilty of letting too many winning positions slip through their fingers.
We should have won the league that year, and I think that then it was started to come to an end, really.
I think Roy Evans was most probably too nice with all the players, and I would count myself in that.
I don't think that. I mean, that's just a very easy label to give someone. And as far as I'm concerned, you'd much rather play for the manager you really liked than a manager who everyone disliked.
The Anfield board acted in the summer of '98, bringing in Gerard Houllier. The man who'd reshaped French football was now to partner Roy Evans in the Liverpool hot seat.
Why am I here? Because I've got a red heart. I'm a real Liverpool supporter, and because of the history, the culture, the background, the quality of the players, and last reason is because we've got a good challenge together.
No, he perhaps wasn't a household name, but then neither was Arsene Wenger when he came to Arsenal, and he was very much aware of all the modern coaching methods, training methods, the modern approach to fitness and preparation, which I think was very important. Understood the need for a clear code of discipline and an encyclopedic knowledge of players, which has been absolutely invaluable to us.
We generally try to do the job together, but we hindered each other in many little ways. People get to see that just little decisions become a problem.
because we don't quite have the same opinion, and nobody does in football. And the players, they don't work against that, but they pick up on it, and it becomes difficult for them. You know, who is actually the boss, who is the leader at the end of the day. And I thought I was honest enough in saying, look, I don't think it's working for the benefits of the club. I would like to have still been there now. I'd love to have worked me and Gerard together and be successful, but I don't think it would have done. It would have became more ugly, and I think the time was probably right.
As one Liverpool great departed, so another returned. Phil Thompson was back to form a new dugout double act.
But out of the blue, to get the opportunity to come back and work alongside Gerard was again another dream come true.
We get on very well because we're different. We're also very honest to each other, and we're quite mature and grown up enough to say the right things, and we know that what we do is what we say is for the good of the team.
The new management team acted quickly to overhaul the club. Their first full season together, 1999-2000, saw a host of radical changes that seemed to be never-ending.
Well, a lot of people didn't realise it could have got worse, because it was maybe going that way, and we had to steady the ship before we could improve it. We realised that we had to make changes which wouldn't be popular. There was battles waged behind the scenes, as you could imagine, but it was all for the good of the club.
Camera. Good strike! Oh, what a goal! No wonder Pt2 has made himself a real cult figure on Merseyside.
Owen. And still Michael Owen. Oh, yes!
Murphy.
New, young English talent was once again blossoming under the stewardship of Houllier, and good times seemed to be just around the corner, and the supporters were happy with the club's direction.
When we started our rebuilding process, the fans were very understanding. I mean, even when we had some setbacks, they would come up and approach me in the street and would say, well, keep going on, you know, we believe in you, you know, be patient, don't worry, it'll be all right. You won't turn things around in a fortnight. And the fans have always given the support to the team.
Summer 2000 and even more transfer activity, but what lay ahead was a momentous season, even by the standards set by the Liverpool of old.
We will be competing in 4 competitions, 3 domestic ones and 1 European one, so obviously we need quality players.
Song. Heskey going up for it. Howie with the clearance. Now for Didi Hamann. Brilliantly taken. Absolutely magnificent. And 2-3 minutes of solid Liverpool pressure comes to a second goal.
McAllister, Fowler. Heskey. Oh! It's his day at Pride Park.
Dramatic finishes seem to be the Houllier hallmark of this campaign, especially in the 3 cup finals Liverpool contested. The first was the League Cup against Birmingham at Cardiff.
Heskey won it. Fowler's onto it. Fowler's hit. Fowler's goal. McCarthy. Good cross. Out by Babel. Chased in by Granger. Came to O'Connor. Tackle. What is it? Penalty. What a moment for the individual. What a moment for the club. Pass. Equalises. Sixth penalty taker for Liverpool is Jamie Carragher. Another local lad, a brutal boy. Local hero. Andrew Johnson, recently turned 20 years old. Young and fearless, really fearless. At a moment like this, can he? Save! It's a horrible moment for the young man, but it is Liverpool's trophy, a
McAllister takes. Still not clear. Bartle trying to reach it. Oh, in! One chance, one goal, one very, very special forward. And Liverpool are back in business thanks to Michael Owen. Owen stretching his legs and getting away from Dixon and getting his shot away. And set. That is just absolutely fantastic. He has won the cup for Liverpool all by himself. Michael Owen has scored with 2 minutes left to play, and that is surely the end of the story. Liverpool captains are appointed to collect the silverware. That's their job, and it's becoming a regular job again. Double delight for Liverpool, and there may yet be a third. 5 Liverpool players to attack the ball. Oh, it's an own goal! It's a golden goal, but what a nightmare for Alvarez.
I was sitting there, putting my names down for all the penalty takers. Just when Gary McAllister curled over that free kick and the own goal, and seen the paper and thought, folded it and put it back in the bag.
It certainly did something for us, and to come third as well in the league. It was a great season, and one that will go down in history, and one that every player, probably every support, will never forget.
The season's achievements cemented an incredible bond between the players, the fans and the manager, and the Liverpool anthem united them all in one voice.
It's never been a better time to be a Liverpool team. We're on the march again. We're rising, and it's we can only go up.
Mr. Miyaki says, one cup, two cup, three cup.
Liverpool hadn't seen days like this in nearly a decade. The Houllier revolution was underway, and the Reds fans weren't going to miss the party.
I'm delighted that the team did so well, and we won those trophies, and now everybody can be happy.
I'm pleased and I'm very happy because they are happy. They're proud and they are happy, and they can be because the Liverpool players achieve a tremendous season.
Fans are the most important people. They're the people who tell you at the end of the day, and they've seen tremendous progress with the team. People are talking, not only in this country, but throughout Europe, throughout the world. Liverpool are back.
There was a slip by Stan, and Michael Owen cashes in. It's Michael in the millennium again. Michael Owen has got 2 choices in the box with him, and Liverpool have the opening goal on a clear breakaway. And how nice for John Arno Risa that he comes back to his former home and scores for his new club. Heskey through the gap, can't meet him. Beautifully played, Emil Heskey. 2-0 to Liverpool. And eventually, away we go. If you've joined us late, tell you that Liverpool lead by 2-0, and they are the team in white. And here is Michael Owen with a chance to make it 3, which he does immediately. Yet another trophy is going to Anfield, to Liverpool Football Club, to the League Cup, to the FA Cup, to the UEFA Cup, to the Charity Shield. Is now added the European Super Cup.
But in October 2001, Gerard Houllier was rushed to hospital needing immediate heart surgery. While he convalesced, Anfield sung his name. The Frenchman enjoys a special relationship with the Liverpool fans.
They sometimes embarrass me, really. But it embarrasses me, but at the same time it makes me proud, because that pride goes to the player. I mean, if the fans chant your name, it's because your team is playing well on the field, and the relationship between the fans and the Liverpool player has been something special since Bill Shankly, we've got to admit that.
Gerrard's temporary absence left a huge void, but up stepped right-hand man Phil Thompson to take the reins.
But it came down to the board. They just said to me that we're backing you, we believe in you, and I felt that was important. And yeah, it was hard at times, but all in all, we wanted to do it. And I think what happened to Gerrard was pulled everybody together.
Here comes the Emperor back at Anfield. A surprise homecoming for Gerard Houllier 5 months after he left Anfield, en route to a hospital where rather more than his career was put at risk. Gerard Houllier at the beginning of a massive night for Liverpool gives them a massive boost. Murphy will take the free kick. In towards Heskey! Liverpool 2, Roma 0. That's the scoreline they need.
It's a time to block off the charger, who is Fortune.
Risa! Oh my goodness! Gracious me!
Well, it's amazing the goal is still standing.
Played the game at a high level and been involved and always been a thinker about the game. And you think you know a lot. You don't know anything until you work with Gerard Houllier. He demands everybody to work as hard as him. Maybe not as hard as him, because nobody could do that.
Where he's been absolutely first rate is in helping us to attract outstanding young players to Liverpool. Anybody can spot the Zidanes when they're 27, you know, that's not difficult. You know, the skill is trying to identify them when they're 18 and 19.
To sit next to him and that phone's ringing time and time again, and some of the people who he's on the phone to, it just shocks you. I blush sometimes thinking, God, is that who it is?
We're all here to try to win honours, and if the manager shares that belief and we see the manager's, you know, the right man to do that, then obviously he's going to gain instant respect from us, and that's certainly what he's got here.
The Reds have improved with each season under Houllier. What comes next promises to be another glorious chapter in the history of Liverpool Football Club.
We're practically ahead of schedule, but the vision is the vision which is shared by the players, by the fans, by the staff, is to win the title and to win the Champions League title as well.
It's very simple to sum up the philosophy of this club. It's about winning trophies. That's the be-all and end-all, and we have a passion for success. It's about silverware, and Gerard is helping to bring them back.
It's a fantastic club, and it's going in the right places, and you know, it's got tradition, it's got a great team, it's got great supporters, just everything about it's a joy to play for them and to go out. Playing at Anfield every week is a special moment, and you know, hopefully we can do the main thing, which is what this club's all about, and win more honours.